Hello everyone, I hope you are doing good. So, dear learners, today I am here with question and answers from chapter 2, okay, from your class 10 history textbook सेबा बोर्ड. सो आज मैं यहाँ क्वेश्चन नंबर 5 लॉन्ग आंसर क्वेश्चंस के क्वेश्चन नंबर 5 और क्वेश्चन नंबर 6 डिस्कस करूँगी. ओके, सो दिस इज़ अ सैम्पल आंसर. टेक you can take help from it. Okay, let us begin. So, first question of the day is, under what circumstances the Quit India movement launched? Do you consider the movement to be a milestone in India's struggle for independence? Give reasons in support of your answer. Answer. The Second World War had broken out in 1939. Both Jawaharlal Nehru and M.K. Gandhi were strongly against Hitler and his Nazi government. Therefore, they were eager to provide support to Great Britain in its war efforts against Hitler. तो यहाँ पे ये बोला जा रहा है कि माहौल कैसा था क्विट इंडिया मूवमेंट लॉन्च के टाइम में. तो उस टाइम पे क्या हुआ था, 1942 में क्विट इंडिया मूवमेंट लॉन्च हुआ था, बट अराउंड 1939 में सेकेंड वर्ल्ड वॉर स्टार्ट हो चुका था, जिसमें एक साइड पे ग्रेट ब्रिटेन था और दूसरे साइड पे जर्मनी. मतलब अगर हम लोग बात करें और भी पार्टीज़ थे, लेकिन ग्रेट ब्रिटेन वॉज फाइटिंग जर्मनी एंड जर्मनी वॉज एट दैट टाइम वॉज अंडर द रूल ऑफ हिटलर हु वॉज अ नाजी. मतलब नाजी पार्टी वो चला रहा था एंड ही वॉज नॉट लाइक्ड बाय द इंडियंस. सो क्योंकि क्योंकि इन ब्रिटेन जर्मनी के ख़िलाफ़ खड़ी हो रही थी इन द वॉर, सो नेचुरली जवाहरलाल नेहरू एंड एम के गांधी वांटेड टू सपोर्ट ब्रिटेन इन इट्स वॉर एफर्ट्स. इसी को कहते हैं वॉर एफर्ट्स, ओके, अगेंस्ट हिटलर. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. हाउएवर इट वाज ऑन द कंडीशन ऑफ ग्रांटिंग इंडिया द फुल इंडिपेंडेंस. लेकिन ये कंडीशन भी उन्होंने रखा, ठीक है, कि वो ब्रिटेन को तभी हेल्प करेंगे बाय प्रोवाइडिंग आर्मी एंड ऑल, जब Britain will promise that it will grant it full independence. The British government refused to accept the offer. As a mark of protest, the Congress ministers resigned from their posts in October 1939. To put pressure on the government, the Congress organized a series of individual satyagrahas between the years 1940 and 1941. तो तब तक इंडिविजुअल सत्याग्रह वो लोग ऑर्गेनाइज कर रहे थे, गांधी जी ने किया था. तो वन ऑफ द फर्स्ट पर्सन वॉज विनोबा भावे. ओके, यू कैन रिमेंबर दिस एज एक्स्ट्रा इन्फॉर्मेशन. नेक्स्ट, देन ब्रिटिश प्राइम मिनिस्टर विंस्टन चर्चिल वॉज नॉट रेडी टू लिक्विडेट द ब्रिटेन्स एम्पायर. तो आप लोगों ने विंस्टन चर्चिल के बारे में ज़रूर सुना होगा. उनका एक फेमस कोट भी है इसके ऊपर, दैट आई हैव नॉट समथिंग, इट गोज समथिंग लाइक दिस, दैट आई हैव नॉट बिकम द प्राइम मिनिस्टर ऑफ क्वीन, ओके, इन ऑर्डर टू सी इट्स डिज़ोल्यूशन. मतलब एम्पायर का डिज़ोल्यूशन मैं देखूँ, इसलिए मैं प्राइम मिनिस्टर नहीं बना हूँ. तो वो नहीं चाहता था कि भारत किसी भी तरीके से आज़ाद हो. सो इन 1942 वो क्या करते हैं, ही सेंट सर स्टैफर्ड क्रिप्स to negotiate with Indian political parties. He offered a draft declaration of the British government which included the establishment of a dominion, a constituent assembly, and the rights of the provinces to make a separate constitution. The condition was that it would be granted only after the World War was over. But the Indians rejected the offer and the Cripps mission failed. Consequently, Gandhi decided to launch a third major movement against the British. The other factors that led to the launching of Quit India movement were fear of Japan attacking India, terror in East Bengal, and the realization the British government was incapable of defending the country anymore. So यहाँ पे होगा and the realization that the British government was incapable of defending the country anymore. So now you change the paragraph and now we will answer the second part of the question. Okay. The Quit India movement was the final mass struggle against the movement. The Congress Working Committee had passed a resolution in August 8, 1942 in which it demanded for an immediate end to the British rule. Gandhi gave his most famous call, "Do or die." However, the government immediately arrested the leaders. But the masses, even though the leaderless had carried out the movement in a spirited manner, though the movement was short-lived. It demonstrated the depth at which the nationalist feelings had reached every nook and corner of the country. It also demonstrated the people's capacity for fearless struggle and a readiness to sacrifice. This movement was taken part by the students, women, peasants, and workers. For them, independence was the only goal, and there was no scope for bargaining or negotiations with the British government. If at all there was to be any bargain, it could be only on the matter of transfer of power. Thus, the Quit India movement can truly be called as a milestone in India's struggle for independence. Next question है, write a brief note on Indian National Congress. So it is a very easy question. Okay, let us see how we can write this. The idea of the Indian National Army, sorry, I read the question incorrect. Write a brief note on the Indian National Army. Okay, the idea of the Indian National Army was first conceived by Captain Mohan Singh, who was an Indian officer of the British Army in Malaya. On March 1942, मलाया सो आजकल आज का जो मलेशिया, थाईलैंड, बैंकॉक ये जो एरिया है उसको मलाया पेनिनसुला बोलते हैं. ओके, सो इट वाज नॉट डिवाइडेड एज सच. ठीक है, सो ब्रिटिश आर्मी वाज स्टेशन इन मलाया, सो उसी को बोला गया है. ओके, on March 1942, a conference of expatriate Indians was held in Tokyo, which led to the formation of Indian Independence League. This was followed by a conference in Bangkok where Rash Bihari Bose, okay, remember this name, was elected the president of the league, and a decision was taken to raise the Indian National Army or Azad Hind Fauj. Okay, so Indian National Army को भी बोला जाता था आज़ाद हिंद फौज. Shortly after, Subhash Chandra Bose, you must have heard about his name, Subhash Chandra Bose took over the leadership of this Azad Hind Fauj. Okay, so in 1943, the INA in the short form, ठीक है, Indian National Army का short form INA was reorganized, and apart from the Indian prisoners of war, recruits were sought from civilians, funds were gathered, and a women's regiment called Rani Jhansi Regiment was formed. ठीक है, सो इंडियन प्रिजनर्स ऑफ वॉर, जैसे कि जब वॉर होता है कोई कंट्री के बीच में, तब सपोज़ एक कंट्री जीत जाती है उस कंट्री को अटैक करते हुए, तो पहले क्या होता था कि जो पीपल है उनको एज प्रिजन में रख लेते थे. दूसरी कंट्री जो जीत गई तो उसको बोलते हैं प्रिजनर्स ऑफ वॉर. ठीक है, तो ये इंडियन प्रिजनर्स ऑफ वॉर जो थे सिर्फ उन्होंने ही पार्टिसिपेट नहीं किया INA में. There were other recruits which were sought from civilians. Funds were gathered and a women's regiment was formed which was known as the Rani Jhansi Regiment. So the slogan of the INA was Jai Hind. It fought with the Japanese army against the British. So ये एक नोट करने वाली बात है कि हम लोग ने पहले देखा क्विट इंडिया मूवमेंट में कि ब्रिटिश government and M.K. Gandhi and Jawaharlal Nehru were against Germany, and they were also against Japan. Okay, because Japan was on the other side, it was fighting along with Germany and it was against Britain. लेकिन सुभाष चंद्र बोस ने और उनके INA ने जापानीज लोगों से हाथ मिलाया, and because he was a radicalist. Okay, so he wanted to drive out British government anyhow, so he thought that कि जापानीज़ गवर्नमेंट से हेल्प लेना बहुत ही सही रहेगा. ओके, सो इट फॉट विद द जापानीज़ आर्मी अगेंस्ट द ब्रिटिश कॉमनवेल्थ फोर्सेस इन द कैंपेन्स इन बर्मा, इम्फाल एंड कोहिमा. द डिफीट ऑफ जापान एंड सरेंडर इन द वॉर ऑल्सो लेड टू द इवेंचुअल सरेंडर ऑफ INA. Although Subhash Chandra Bose had been criticized for cooperating with the fascism, he had also been praised for organizing INA to set an inspiring example of patriotism before the Indian people and the Indian army.